final speaker for the day is Professor Anil Srinivasan. He's an acclaimed classic pianist and innovator in arts education who merges music with STEM learning through his Rhapsody initiative. With prestigious awards like the Sangeet Natak Academy Youth Award and Kalaima Mani, he pioneers creative collaborations and projects impacting over 400,000 children in South India. Professor Anil is a TED speaker and columnist. He also founded CREW, revolutionizing project based learning for over 207,000 students in South Asia. He'll be speaking on the topic Finding the Melody in Education, a musical rhapsody. Let us welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Good evening. Oh my God, this is really sad. Please focus on the amount of light that is radiating on the top of my head. For those who are under the age of 30, please sit up. For those who are over the age of 30, mentally sit up. How is everybody doing? I know this has been a long day. In fact, I just messaged Ravi and I said, do you really want me to do a session right now? Because I think most people just want to go take a walk or go stretch themselves, do other things that are fun. So before I get into, the very serious ramifications of my conversation with you, let me start with some music. Is that good? Acceptable? Please dance. I'll put it this way, if you know the song, sing along. If you're not confident of how well you sing, sing softly. Here's a big secret I want to tell all of you, right? If you do not sing in tune, it's really quite offensive to the person sitting next to you. Student volunteers who are playing tic-tac-toe, can you see me and hear me? Either you're playing the dot game or tic-tac-toe by this point, am I right? Somewhat, yes, see, I know. This is the advantage of being a teacher. Okay. All right. Especially the children in the back who've gone to sleep. Hi. Very good. So this one is for you. I'm going to try to be as contemporary as possible before I get into my session. Children, wait. I'm looking at with this very sad display of adults in front. Okay? I'll tell you why it's a sad display, not because they don't know the words. Okay? Let me step out of this cubicle here to show you the expression. Okay? The children are doing this. Okay? And I swear I saw some adults here doing. Really? Do you have any idea how you appear to that generation? We are all teachers, we are supposed to be cool. What, Aditya, Nishant, am I right? Nishant, stop solving partial differential equations right now. Okay, for those who don't know the words, can you at least keep the rhythm? Advana varunla. Thank you for aging yourself. Thank you for aging yourself. Okay, excellent. So, this session is going to be a little bit of fun. I was going to do some very serious things. I think you've been hearing a lot of serious things the whole day. So let me focus on lassi and make Ravi Santlani happy. The idea is to take 1/3 of a mug of yogurt, Shaikat spoke about Humboldt systems of liberal education, what is truly liberal and what is truly education. You had other people coming and talking to you and the epistemology of the liberal arts. You don't want to hear about that. Nobody spoke about lassi, and I'm feeling very bad about lassi. In fact, lassi is feeling bad for itself. So, Akila, correct me if I'm wrong on the recipe. I'll do the South Indian one. So 1/3 of the cup is yogurt. First beat it so that it becomes smooth. Then add the water, slightly warm. Don't make it too cold immediately. Then in a separate pan, I don't know how to say this in English, but anyway, saute. A combination of mustard seeds, chili powder if you like, a little bit of salt, mix, then put it in the mixie. Where did I get it wrong? You can cover that in tomorrow's session. Lassi. Truly, what is liberal about lassi? No mustard seeds. Shaikat, see what they do to us. We all get our PhDs, talk very intelligent stuff, and everybody ultimately fights about how to make lassi. There it comes out. Okay, so one of the things that I thought I'll focus on, of course, there's going to be music, and that's also because it's the end of the day. In the introduction, there was a lot spoken about the work I do with children. And one of the things that I discover more and more and more, not just as a professor of the liberal arts, but also working with school children, today is really about school children. One of the biggest famines, the biggest droughts that we are facing as a society today is that we are not able to impart the ability to children to love themselves. And that is because we do not love ourselves. As a society, as an ecosystem, and we can only speak to our own experiences and our own personal experiences, from the time that you're young, you're not taught to love yourself. The moment you are of an age where you can even understand what's going on, somebody's there to tell you, usko dekho, kitna acha padta hai, look at you. Look at her, yeah, how well she's groomed herself, look at you. You're so fat. You don't have that skin, so you have to do something more. There are 16,734,000 students writing IIT for 400 seats. Let's have 10 more companies that will help you prepare for that 400 seats. Right? In all of this, and I've seen this comes out especially on Facebook, on family WhatsApp groups. Our not liking ourselves is so intense that if somebody questions an opinion, somebody questions what we say, we get so upset so deeply personally. How dare you disagree with me? How dare you tell me I am wrong? Who are you? I am a person with so many titles and crowns. Who are you? And that is because somewhere deeply, and this is very, very deeply inside, we do not love ourselves. So let me not talk about liberal art education or any kind of education without asking if the purpose of education, and we've been debating the whole day, is the purpose of education employability, is the purpose of education just the love of learning? Is the purpose of education to go to school and go to college? Or is the purpose of education to skill you to be able to handle life? We can keep on arguing these things till the cows come home, but my question to all of you is, many of you are running schools, many of you are running colleges, many of you are students, many of you are teachers. How much of this is helping us love ourselves? And what do I mean by loving yourself? Accepting yourself. What do I mean by accepting yourself? Are you willing to participate in self-inquiry? Ask the same critical questions of yourself. that get you closer to liking who you are and finally loving who you are. Right? So we work with a very small number of 773,000 students in South India today. Nice big number. One of the things we did post the pandemic, we all remember that beautiful time called the pandemic? Remember Zoom class? When we would dress only from stomach upwards? Remember those lovely times when we switched off audio and video? Because mummy and grandmother were sitting and attending class instead of us. Lovely times. I miss those days. I used to do so many training seminars during that time where people would log in and say, where is my certificate, where is my certificate, where is my certificate? And after that, disappear. I trained so many people who did not ever attend my session. Beautiful times. So, remember after the pandemic went away, children rushed back to school? We remember things that were being said during the pandemic? This is the end of physical education. Everything is shifting online. We are going to study online, examine online. There were companies being created on how to examine the examiners online. There were other companies being created to see how these examining bodies are cheating you also. Every company was being formed at that time. Everything is online. And the moment unlock was announced, we had children rushing. I don't know about you, but as a teacher, that one of the sweetest melodies I've ever heard in my life is the melody of thousands and thousands of children rushing back to school. So we did a very small survey at that time, about 1,000 to 1,500 students. And we said, why do you want to go to school? Because a lot of these people saying, oh, school is over, now everything is online, right? So why do you go to school? And this was done in Tamil Nadu, and children replied in Tamil, and we got them translated. And children came up with words. What is the one main word you associate with going to school? And that was very revealing. These are the words. Right? Of course, learn, interact, socialize. The first 3-4 words are very common words. You would expect them to be there. They also started saying things like invent, ideate, interpret, make friends, collaborate, play. We discovered that in many building societies in which many of our students live. Nisha, I'm talking to you. Many of our societies where our children live, playing is banned because noise cannot be created in these cooperative housing societies. There is no space even if you want to play, which is why I think Nanda Gurukulam is going to be something fantastic. Many congratulations to you for that. What a fabulous thing. Run, build, bring forth, laugh. So there was this one particular response, and I read it and it's in Tamil. And this is from a girl student who says, I'm not allowed to laugh at home because it creates a fight between my father and mother. Go figure. We are dealing also with many crises. We do live in a pandemic of mental health. I'm surprised today not too many of us spoke about it. We are in that space where mental health is becoming a very big problem. Laugh, level, equalize, include, fight, win, cry, do things that make me human. Of course, my very favorite word is the last one. Was love. More than 60% of those children who filled the survey reported to 5 out of 10 or less when we asked them, are you happy at home? 10 being very happy, 1 being extremely unhappy. 5 and less is almost 70%. We are living in that reality today where children feel highly pressurized, highly pressed to get results that we want out of them. Let's look at numbers. We started the day with numbers, we'll end the day with numbers. Don't get naughty thoughts. Look at these numbers and I'll tell you what these numbers are. 69 is the total number of new work profiles, new jobs, new job description categories that are expected to enter into common workforce by the year 2030, which is just 6 years away, by the World Economic Forum report. Okay? 69 things that never existed. We don't even know what these profiles are. So there's no way that school or college or higher education is even equipped. So this is ending that employability debate. We don't even know what they are, let alone helping students prepare for these things. We are only helping students prepare for what we know. How do we prepare them for what we don't know? That is 69. 96 million new teachers are going to be required by the year 2050. So all the teachers in the audience who've been told at different conferences, ChatGPT is going to replace teaching. ChatGPT is the future of work. Creativity, collaboration, and ChatGPT is going to make teaching redundant. What are you doing as a teacher? Equip yourself as a coder. Join Byju's today. All crap. Okay? 96 million new teachers. What do those teachers have to do? For those of you who have not yet spent time, please spend time talking to some of the speakers in this room. In fact, all of them. One of the biggest challenges that we face is how do we keep reskilling ourselves as teachers, because the whole paradigm of teaching is changing. It doesn't mean teachers are becoming redundant. We need more teachers. It just means how we teach and the ways of learning are changing, and we need to study it. The third 69 is the total number of new education technology companies which are seeking to improve the quality of school and college education, which were created in the Dominion of India in the year 23-24. 96 is the total number of education technology companies which closed in the year 23-24. What does that even mean? It means that we still don't know what we are doing and we are still trying to solve these problems. That's all. And then there is a new breed of people called venture capitalists who will come and tell you, I will tell you how to do education. Many of us are following that also. Vulture capitalists. Okay? So all I'm trying to say is that education is this crazy space right now. Anybody and everybody is getting into education. This is also happening at one level. But it is those with fundamental focus on ways of learning who are surviving. Right? The second big topic, right? We've been talking about this. I want to thank Shaikat for bringing up the multiple intelligence and Howard Gardner idea. One of the things that the multiple intelligences theory doesn't exactly directly correlate to is the idea of creativity as intelligence, right? You can get it by actually collating 2 or 3 of those terms, but there isn't a word that specifically defines it, and this is becoming a very important thing. How many of you here have been subject to board circulars which say you have to train in creativity, you have to train in collaboration? I'll tell you some of the buzzwords that are coming in CBSE at least, right? Experiential learning. NEP compliance. What is NEP compliance? I have heard of marriage registration certificate compliance, land registration license compliance, FSI certificate compliance. Now we have NEP compliance. I want to wear a tag that says I'm NEP compliant. Hello, nice to meet you, Professor Anil Srinivasan. I'm NEP compliant. It's just a policy. Follow what works for you, right? Anyway, that aside, social emotional learning, where's Chetna? Right? Another abused term, we are SEL specialists. What is that? Right? Social emotional learning. Many of these terms, people are just using, I kid you not. I kid you not. There are people putting in these terms just like hashtags. Okay, go on LinkedIn, created by Reid Hoffman. We spoke about it. Go to any educator, educationist, education as business, education as commerce. Education is one of the 4,874 degrees that Maheshwar showed in the morning. Okay? And you will find in their things, in their hashtags. Hello everybody, good morning. Hashtag NEP, hashtag SEL, hashtag equity, hashtag project-based learning, hashtag experiential learning, hashtag holistic learning, hashtag creativity and collaboration and the future of work. These things have people started writing it without even knowing what these things mean. Another beautiful word, let me tell you what it is. Critical thinking. I love it. What are you teaching? I teach critical thinking. How are you teaching critical thinking? Syllabus was formed, sir, 5 years ago. What a joke. The latest joke, scam that's going around is that NEP compliance also requires that there are so many skills that we are supposed to train high school students in before they join college. Okay, I got my assistant to download these pages. I thought it will be some 10 or 12 pages. You know what? It is 366 pages. It includes things like Kashmiri embroidery. Nothing wrong with Kashmiri embroidery, but why is that a skill that school needs to prepare students to do? And the best part is I've met principals who are saying, PT teacher is free, no, she will teach. For those from the upper echelons of higher education who are finding all this slightly weird, all you need to know is see how much the school teachers are laughing and you know that these things are real. There is a huge gap. Okay, let me do this. I've always started with this exercise, I forgot to do it. Professor Mitra, this one is specifically dedicated to you. Okay, I want everybody in the audience to do this exercise. Chetna, since you have been making us do exercises from the morning, my eyes are on you. Okay, everybody rub your hands like this, please. Nikita, hands apart. I'm going to count to 3. When I say 3, you clap. Parinya, are you ready? When I say 3, you clap. 1, 2. See? See? I know. It's not an achievement. It just shows that you listened properly. Again, rub your hands together again. Hands apart. 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, kindergarten, which is my favorite age group, they will all wait with their hands apart and say, Uncle, you never said 3. By the time the child has come to the 4th standard, they've clapped at 1. What critical thinking, yeah? Let's first start with listening. Listening's not happening. You know why listening is not happening? You know the answer to that also. There is a principal of a very famous CBSE school in Chennai, who happens to be one of those who works with me. He has 3 cell phones. I suspect that he is WhatsApping himself. Because he's all the time looking at those 3 phones. Nobody, not even Barack Obama, looks at 3 cell phones simultaneously. It is so bad that I once went for a meeting with him, sitting opposite him across his table. I had to WhatsApp him to say, sir, I'm here for the meeting. Do you know what happened? I got a reply on WhatsApp saying, I know. Nandish is laughing because he knows who this is. That is how bad. And then if you're asking that individual to look at critical thinking, please, ladies and gentlemen, we need to really examine what these words mean. The first thing I spoke about was love yourself. Are we focusing on allowing inquiry, allowing freedom in our school classrooms, let alone bring it into liberal arts? You cannot bring up children for 14 years to sit in examinations like this. You know what this is? What is this? I'll ask the children. Why do you sit like this in exam? Right? It's so beautifully done that these children will make very good ballroom dancers later. Because you have to prevent the person both behind you, the left of you and the right of you from copying from you. So for 14 years, if you're brought up to be number 1 rank, you alone are achieving, you alone have the wisdom of the world, and suddenly in the 15th year you say, collaborate. Come on, let's come together as a group and learn from each other. Hey, what ya group hai? I've seen all these trainers come to me and say, something's wrong, there's no energy in the room, they're all sitting there. That's because for 14 years, Miss has come and told them, don't allow him to copy, you alone should get first rank. Kaise hoga? Collaboration. Just because you get CBSE memo dated 13th March, please send copies to both Director Skilling as well as Director Academics, saying you've done NEP compliance as well as collaboration compliance. I think next they will do love compliance also. Suddenly we cannot force children to collaborate. Art teaches you to collaborate automatically. It does. Art teaches you to be creative automatically. And what is creative? I'm going to actually define. I'm not going to use creative as a loose word. I'm going to come to it. I'll show you how collaboration works. Very simple exercise. I'll play the first line. You respond on the second line. I'll allow you to go to the playground shortly. Collaboration. Just gave a simple exercise. I can play something even slightly more complicated. I'm dedicating this to my co-curator. Okay, we have to satisfy the children, so let me do this. I told you I'm not as old as I look. Okay, so you just collaborated, by the way. Congratulations. Right? It's that simple. Shall I tell you another big fallacy? They have all taught you that if it is music and you're enjoying yourself, it can't be education. Rubbish. Okay? Art as intelligence, just to prove to many other people sitting there that I do have a doctoral degree, here is this. I didn't make it up. But I thought if I put a few Latin terms, some other people who are looking crossly at me will actually start smiling. Because Latin makes us very intelligent. Okay? But music, just as an example on music, music affects every part of your brain. It's not affecting only entertainment. How many people here are Tamil? Okay. For all of you, I'm asking this very serious question. You tell people, why do they listen to music? People will say, oh, because it makes us so calm and soothed and relaxed and puts us in a happy mood. Neruppuda, nerungida parpam. It's putting you in a calm and soothed mind. I'm very scared if that is calming you. Music does not have one benefit, it has several. A sentence of medium complexity spoken is activating about 25 to 35 in that range neurotransmitters in your brain. The same sentence when it is sung is activating something between 257,000 to 337,000 neurotransmitters in your brain. The differential is 1:10,000. It is not extracurricular, it is not entertainment, it is bloody education. Okay? There is a reason why you're all listening to Dr. Dre while you're solving partial differential equations. It's not because Nishant is setting very hard homework. It is because Dr. Dre is actually helping you think. This is the truth. Use Dua Lipa if you're doing balancing equations and chemistry. But there is a serious correlation between what's happening to you neurophysiologically and listening to music. Right? So art is intelligence, it's not just entertainment. So this is how we synthesized the different aspects. So this is not just me, there's 5 other researchers working with me across the world. So what we've done is done a meta-analysis of different studies across the world, different domains, on what constitutes the term creativity. How are we doing trait, when we say somebody is trait creative, what do we mean by that, right? So we looked at 4 different factors. So these are the 4 different factors that came through it as very clearly. I mean, don't go by what I've called it here. These terms can change, but this is just to help you differentiate between the different types of creativity that exist. The artistic, we all understand to some extent. Artistic creativity just doesn't mean it makes you a musician or an artist. It also means that part of you that's responding to art and making you respond to stimuli very differently, right? You're able to recognize patterns better. You're able to look at aesthetics in a different way. You're able to look at color palettes in a different way. You're able to look at music in a different way. All of this comes under your artistic trait creative. There is collaborative, right? Some people work much better when they work with other people, naturally. It's natural to them. Some people just don't. We have differential scores on collaboration. Cognitive, I'm just calling it cognitive for now because we're still looking for a better nomenclature for it, but that's the part of you that's helping you think in alternative ways. In India, we have perfected that particular philosophy. We call it jugaad. That's one aspect of it. How you are able to think through in terms of alternative decision making. It's a very important thing. Ask the math teacher and he will tell you there is not one single way to solve the problem. He is teaching you the one that will make you get the marks right. There are multiple ways to do it. Every situation is going to have multiple ways and you do thinking and decision making differently. And I'm clubbing a lot of big words, but that's just because it's a short talk. Okay? And the last are those who are natural born entrepreneurs. Right? It doesn't mean that they're going to create a business. They're entrepreneurial in the way they think. They're able to create situations, collectives. They are the Ravi Santlanis of the world. Clap, yeah. They're able to bring things together, bring resources together. They're able to think of things in a way which is very different from the way other people think. Right? We all have some differential varying degrees of each of these different factors. Now you think about all the people you know and then you think about yourself. Right? Creativity is not one dimension. One of the big fears that I have is when I say creativity and I speak to some schools and they say, Amama, art class irukku. Right? Art class is not the only place where you can be creative. Akila, I think this is the time I need to reveal that I started the Creative Excuse Award at Kriya. Okay? I started the Creative Excuse Award at Kriya for my students who come up with very creative excuses for why they did not submit their final assignment. Right? The first year, I had one child coming to me and saying this in so many words, Sir, I brought the assignment, but as I was crossing over from the hostel to the main acad block, do you know something? The canteen van ran over my foot. Okay, this is virtually impossible if you've been to Kriya. Okay? Bleedingly, I still ran towards your office. Just at that time, sir, the door shut on my face. The matron saw me. There's no matron in Kriya, by the way. And asked me to come to first aid and I missed the deadline. This is when I thought I'll start by saying, okay, I'll give you a creative excuse. This year I had the best one. Why did you not submit the assignment? Sir, love failure. And I was actually going to sit down and have a nice chat and say, oh my dear, what happened? Until this child said, sir, not for me, my roommate. And he was lamenting and lamenting and lamenting every day that I lost time and I lost deadline. That is also creative. At some level, that kid is going to do very well. Unfortunately, he'll end up becoming a litigating lawyer. Okay, so very quick, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, really, 2-minute exercise. Speak to the 2 people immediately next to you. In 2 minutes, come up with one thing you can add to your classroom to make your classroom more fun. Okay, go. One thing, only one thing. Two minutes. Ipa ke karda? 2 minutes to come up with one thing that can make your classroom more fun. Okay? I'll play enthusiastic, creative juice inducing music for that 2 minutes. Ready? Can we, I just look at you at random, just shout out what you discussed. Some of you seem to have discussed which movie you just recently watched. I also agree, Manjumil voice was very nice. Okay. Can I start from somebody in the back, please? Last couple of rows, what did you discuss? Shout it out. I love this idea. In fact, if you're creative enough, you can use it in the physics classroom. Okay? All right, Ravi. I mean, you're sitting next to the president of Good Shepherd International School. So you were gossiping. तू जहां जहां चलेगा. Okay. All right, Akila. Or Naman. Shh. Guys. What a wonderful idea. Class pet. Class pet and cold cooking station. Damn good. Okay, Parinya and Nikita, did you discuss anything at all? I thought as much, okay? Yeah, I realized with this exercise that I made it a little too free-willing. So we will, that's a good idea, but let's figure out a way that we can use it educationally, okay? Yes. Spontaneous dancing. Okay? Okay? Post lunch, we definitely need dancing. I completely agree with you. And? 2 minutes of talking nonsense. We call it maths too. Okay, cool. All right. So this we ran as an exercise. 7,600 students all over India participated. And as part of our project-based learning initiative, and students came up with ideas. And what I like about this is that the participants were all grade 8 students from across the country. I would like you once again to know that most of these are students not coming from international schools, but coming from lower to lower middle income schools. And this is the kind of classroom they came up with, right? So the learning here was make the classroom circular, because with circular, then we are all equal. There is no first bencher, there's no last bencher. They said, can we have Lego in the classroom, because then we can keep building, and then we can disassemble and we can build again. They said, Okay, this is of course like going into the way into the future and saying let's have e-classrooms where you'll all cycle to class. That's probably not possible in many of our city environments, but we still give it to the children. They said, let's have music in the classroom because most of us want to perform for our friends. We don't really want to perform on annual day on stage where we are embarrassing ourselves in front of people we don't know, especially our parents who come to take selfies. Right? Let's have smaller performances in the classroom. This was the most advanced. It came from a group of 4 girls in Ghaziabad. And of course, they have taken some help, obviously, to render this kind of 3D design. But the idea was collaborative seating, not rows and columns, because we want to work together in groups. Let's minimize the role of the teacher. So if you notice on the top left, the teacher's desk is right at the corner. Okay? I have 2 screens so that it's visible to everybody. In the bottom right, you can see that they said put the sick bed in the classroom itself so that when I'm sick, I don't have to miss class. Right? Of course, as teachers, the moment we see a bed in a class, we are worrying about other things. So we said no, but put a map of the world as one wall, because whenever we learn something in any subject related to something coming from that country, the person, the inventor, the invention or a system of knowledge will put a post-it against it so that we have a map of the knowledge of our world. Simple. Okay? Synthesize. The last one is innovate. So I'm going to end with this. There are always solutions. There are always going to be solutions. Every constraint is an idea to inspire the entrepreneurially creative in you, the cognitively creative in you, the collaboratively creative in you, and the artistically creative in you to be able to innovate and give something of yourself to be able to create a solution for the world. Why else would a piano be placed in the battlefield in Bosnia? Why else would we do that? This was an experiment done. Obviously, it had all kinds of positive effects. Because soldiers came out and started playing, including from opposing sides. Bringing it all together, Ravi Santlani. Love thyself, art is intelligence, synthesize your ideas, synergize and innovate. And what do you have? Can I have it louder, please? So let me leave you with a very significant image. Because we've been discussing what is the purpose of liberal arts, what is liberal arts education. अरे करने से क्या होता है यार? कितना मिलेगा liberal arts से? Engineering से तो 30-25 लाख तो मिलती है ना? None of the discussions that we've been having in this room is useful unless you are going to solve for this child. So as I end this, and I will play something to end it, think of everything that you're doing, think of all the cribs we do, think of every whine, every complaint we've made. Please ask yourself, in all our solves for both primary and higher education, are we solving for the fundamental problems of the world? And saying this, let me all ask you to clap, rub your hands together again. Hands apart. Ready? 1. 1, 2, 3. Remember that a group that claps together will stay together, and a group that stays together will change the world. Wait. You're coming to say you're going to thank me, no? Thank you, sir, for your extraordinary insights, your wonderful views, and we all had a good time, and now we can all proceed to the games. Before you do that, I want to play something. So because I said to you, what do you want me to play? Really? Who said that? Actually, let's have some requests. Backstreet Boys. Then, tell Kevin. Okay. Piano Man. Ravi, do we have time for a 2.5 hour full-fledged concert? Okay. This is the cleverness of Ravi Santlani. He programs me last because now anyway there's only campus tour after this, so I can play for a little longer, correct? Anything else, children? Okay, Kanmani Anbodu Kadalan, then. Everybody wants to see the campus. GSIS is such a beautiful campus, it has to be seen. Okay? No, I'll play something. Tamil. Piano plays in all languages. Hindi. Esperanto. What? Backstreet Boys.
Tell me why. Tell me why. I want it that way. Tell me why. Tell me why.
You wanted spontaneous dancing. I dare the audience to emerge into spontaneous dancing. Are you ready?
If I can, I would like to call upon Swara Badani to come on stage. Please come. Yeah, I'll join. Okay, all the volunteers on stage, come on.
Really? Are we leaving it to the children and all of us are just going to sit back and embarrass them? I dare the adults to also join them. Go ahead, okay? Make them feel less conscious. Come on, let's have everybody here. This is lassi. The children are the yogurt, you are the water. Akhila,
like
you're going to be the mustard seed. Everybody join in.
Join us on the stage.
Go ahead.
Kashvi, you may not deny it.
So I'm calling it the GSIS Dance Challenge. I will play many of the things you asked for, many of the things you did not ask for. You'll have to keep dancing. Are you ready? Ready? For those who don't want to dance but know the song, at least sing along so that they are encouraged. Is that fine? Fair enough? I'm waiting to see what adjectives you're going to use. Of course.
Who's they?
Of course. Are you talking about... Which one do you want me to play? Which was the one you were talking about? Let's finish this and then I'll play it. Okay? All right. I'm going to let you thank me.
Yes, so
On behalf of all the speakers, Kevin, I would like to thank you, Kashvi, Swara, and Madhav for being awesome anchors the whole day today. And to show you that we've been listening, you were extraordinary. Kashvi was academically eclectic. Swara was insightful. I forget the other adjective that was used, but all four of you were absolutely awesome. Thank you, Kevin. So, since you have prepared to say this vote of thanks, and this whole thing on liberal arts has been about spontaneity and creative expression, I'd like Abe to do the vote of thanks instead.
he'll do the vote of thanks. I'm thanking you alone.
Oh. What happened to the memento to me and all of that?
Wait. Patient. Before we say thank you to you, I'd like to thank my volunteers.
Yay!
Good dancing. Yeah, so coming back to you, sir. Thank you for those captivating music and the words. I request our favorite couple, Mr. Jacob sir and Mrs. Sarah ma'am, to come and present the memento and the thank you note to Professor Anil Srinivasan.